And we are live. Good evening, everybody. It is the Thursday Hobby Hangout with Miniatures Rundown. I'm Josh, and I'm joined by Kevin.
Hi, I'm here again.
Alrighty. And today, what have we got? Well, you're painting. Is that a dwarf?
I can hear you, Josh.
You cannot?
I know I can hear your audio.
You mean like you are coming through the audio?
Okay. So I am painting a Exokin for the upcoming Secundus thing.
All right. Is my audio better
campaign.
now? Oh. Hello?
Just a second. All right, say something, Josh.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Okay. It's not
That was on
doubling
my
up or
end.
anything?
Nope, it's good now.
Okay, good.
All right.
So yeah, you got a dwarf.
Got a dwarf.
And I've
Nothing
got
unusual here.
I've got walls.
Yeah.
Which I had messed up on because turns out Wraithbone is an incredibly hydrophobic primer that makes it basically impossible to paint over with normal paints. So in order to do that, this is after 2 layers of matte varnish on it. That still did not help for some reason.
Really?
Nope. So I'm just what I can do is I can put a little bit, just a very, very light wash over parts, and then when it dries, that wash is easily paintable over.
Okay. That makes sense.
But yeah, more's the fool.
I'm surprised the varnish didn't do the trick.
I think the varnish itself didn't stick.
Oh, yuck.
Somehow. Do not know how. But yeah.
Yeah,
And
getting
then,
ready for Secundus. I'm really excited for our Secundus campaign.
Yeah, finally getting that off the ground, which will be nice. I still need to finish my list. Still need to go paint my ridge hauler too, which is a whole different problem.
Ooh.
But luckily I don't have to paint it in the gang's colors. I can just paint it as Genera Ridge Hauler, which is fun.
Right.
Okay,
so as far as with squats, I was going back through the Halls of the Ancient stuff and looking through all of that, and this guy has a Storm Welder, which I know we've talked a lot about being a terrible weapon, and it is, but it is an investment in the future that maybe in the next edition of Necromunda it won't be terrible.
Keep dreaming. I think. I mean, I don't trust it enough to put to plastic. But that is part of why I'm going with Orlok, is that I don't really have my Vansar built, and I was kind of like, well, just in case the edition changes a lot of things, I don't want to actually build them. Whereas my Orlok already built. Hello, Mini Croc. Welcome.
Hello.
All right, now one thing we do want to add to this show is a little bit of news talk, in case there's any news we want to talk about.
News.
Because we can do that in real time instead of having to do a video, by which time it becomes irrelevant.
Is old. Yeah.
We managed to barely get out there with the Baneblade. Hello, Katie Smith, as well. Welcome back. So first off, I guess let's start with that one, the Baneblade. So we did a video about how the Baneblade had unceremoniously disappeared. Well, it's unceremoniously reappearing, and it's just going up $3. That's it. Technically, we don't know. They could have also done something new with the kit.
That's true. Now remind me, because it's been a while since I purchased a Baneblade. Did the kit previous to the one that just came out for extra $3, did it have all the parts to make all the variants?
Yes, it's this giant box, and it's one box, all Baneblades.
Okay.
That is what was currently for sale on Games Workshop. Oh, my camera's dead again. On Games Workshop.
Okay. I was curious if it had, because I remember at one point, and I wasn't playing Guard at the time, so I didn't pay a ton of attention to it, that the Stormlord and the Shadow Sword and all that stuff were a separate kit, and then I couldn't remember if they had been merged into one kit again or not.
Yes, all Baneblades were one kit. All non-Forge World variants, whatever, you know what I mean.
Right.
So it is technically possible. Now, I will say that I don't think that they're going to be splitting the kit up again, because if they were, there would be more than one kit, and we know there's just still one kit.
Right. And it's
So,
probably just easier just to have one SKU with all the sprues in it.
yep.
And
So I'm guessing that's what happened. Is that they just pulled it off so they could add a little bit of price to it, and then that's the end. That's all,
that's the
folks.
story. I mean, it did fuel a lot of speculation for a hot second
Yeah.
about what was going to happen if the Baneblade was going to Legends, if the Baneblade, all that stuff. Because, you know, there was people having a lot of success in the current edition with Baneblades. So I was wondering, that was one of the things is like, well, is this a hot reaction to Baneblades being really, really good now? Or,
Well, Katie Smith does
you
bring
know,
up, like, there is rumor that they're actually, like, some of the variants are disappearing.
oh,
So
really? Okay.
yes, like so sprues are going to be disappearing from the box. So it's a shrinkflation thing where the box is getting smaller and the price is going up.
Okay. It's getting leaner and more efficient, Josh. That's what we
Yeah,
call it
sure.
in the business.
Uh-huh.
That's what I was told to tell you.
Uh-huh. But
Um,
yeah. By Games Workshop, which definitely loves you and gives you money.
um, well, I was not too long ago accused of glazing Games Workshop because they give me so much free stuff.
Oh, I mean, we all were, because
And
we just weren't overly negative on the new edition of Necromunda. That was,
yeah,
I won't repeat the words used, but oh well. Currently building up my gang. Finally decided on Nomads. Yeah, you talked about that. Cool. Have fun. Have fun with the Buggy
very
Boys.
nice.
I have not
I
played Nomads since their new book. So I don't know if and how they change, but long rifles are fun.
long rifles and all the bugs are really cool. I really like that about Nomads. That's my favorite thing about Nomads is the bugs.
Yeah, I could see that.
Um,
Bug Riders. Ah, yes, the next battalion box. Quava's 100 lost Baneblades, and it's just 100 of them.
the biggest kit they put out since the Warlord Titan.
Why is my...
But as far as other news is concerned, we got the update, the balance update for 40K came out and upset everybody.
Yep. Everyone
Um,
disliked that, as the Fallout meme goes.
Yeah, yep. I mean, strangely enough, I wasn't affected by it. I play Votan and Death Guard, and I'm working on Ultramarines, which I'm not even considering as part of the whole thing because I'm really kind of just sitting on it till the new codex comes out.
Well, and you're doing that
Um,
for literally for purely narrative purposes, like for a grand narrative.
yes, exactly. Yeah, I'm doing it for the grand narrative. And I just got my Inquisitor model in, the Witch Hunter Inquisitor that will be representing me on the battlefield.
Ooh.
Uh,
So,
um,
so shoot that guy.
so yes, so shoot that guy.
If you kill that guy, do you die in real life?
That's the rules of the grand narrative.
Oh wow, brutal.
But yeah, the update was there was a lot of stuff in there that was good quality of life changes, things that were conspicuously left out of the edition change that were in 10th. That my personal theory is that they were left out to see what would happen, and then they were just put back in.
Well, that didn't work.
Like, yeah, like the change dedicated transports. Like at the dawn of this edition, dedicated transports, you did not have to start with something inside of them. So, as is tradition, everybody was just putting rhinos out wherever, and then doing other things with the other units just to have more units running around the board.
Because they're
So
cheap.
now you have to start right. So now you have to start things in dedicated transports again. Also, the cap to CP gain for once per turn. That was also conspicuously left out of the edition change.
Yeah, it's baffling that it wasn't in there.
Yeah. So there was that and a few other things. But I mean, I know everyone is, well, not everyone, but I know people are crying about it because it's a thing that was changed. And like, if you, and on one hand, when we discussed this a little bit pre-show, if you did buy a bunch of stuff to like adapt to the meta, and now this is no longer working, then yeah, that sucks. I get it. But at the same time, it's that meme of the guy at the two guys at the gallows and first time. So there's that too. But
yeah, I don't know why you would ever make a bunch of purposes to try and chase the meta before any of the codexes are out.
right. Like that just feels,
Or
especially since
you
there
know,
were no.
or maybe that's what you enjoy doing, and that's perfectly fine. You've got the disposable incomes
That's
from it,
true,
and
and
that is
like
totally fine.
that's
Like
that.
I know Magic players who do that.
Yeah, and
Um,
like that's
but
a good perspective to keep. Yeah,
don't complain when they then change it. Then again, you know,
right. Because
most of the Magic players I know who do that also complain when they change it. So I think that's just a
part of that culture, maybe.
yeah.
I mean, I used to be a really competitive 40K player, and I never made it anywhere, did anything great with it. But I mean, I can remember that mindset, and sometimes I forget about it because that's better left in the past.
Blessedly.
And and um, so I understand that StarCraft has been delayed again. It was
Yeah.
supposed to come out
Do they have a date on it yet?
initially. No date. Um, it was initially supposed to. So the history lesson is, it was supposed to come out back in March.
Yeah.
Well, that didn't happen unless you were at Adepticon, which you could have picked up one of the starter sets there.
And
Which
everyone who
I
didn't is kicking themselves.
Yeah, I really wish I would have sent somebody to get one for me. Because this is the 1 year I missed for Adepticon, and uh, then it was, July was the next date, and now it's when it gets to you.
And that's just for
So
the
that's
Kickstarter
fun.
backers, right?
Yes, I have no idea what's going on in the retail level.
Right. They might be withholding the retail for the Kickstarter stuff. Like this could be a thing where there's like one thing in the Kickstarter that is delayed and it's holding everything up because when
Oh yeah,
companies release the Kickstarter stuff without everything or everything else before the Kickstarter stuff, oh man, the press is just brutal.
it's bad. Yeah, I mean that's what happened with Weird Games. The other side is they it was double brutal because when it came out at retail, it was less expensive than the Kickstarter stuff.
Which is really weird.
Yeah,
That's a different thing. That's where it's like, why did you? That's a choice you made, and the question is why.
yeah,
Well, and the answer is because weird. But anyway,
yeah. I can talk about weird for a long time. Um,
you think
but
at this
yeah,
point you'd
that's
learn just
kind
to stop working for game companies, Kevin?
of uh the so I was I think that's all the news that I can think of at the moment. Um,
There's some other little things. Combat
oh yeah,
Patrol. They've announced
okay,
new book for it. The big takeaway from that is that the old Combat Patrols are not going anywhere. So I said new book,
that's
new
good.
app. The
Oh
app
really?
currently doesn't have any of the old Combat Patrols, but they've said they are coming, which is so they're not squatting any of the old Combat Patrols, which is not a move I expected. I kind of expected them
No, absolutely not.
to wipe the slate clean. Now to quote Cody on the Discord, here's hoping now just have to make it good. You know.
Well, yeah. I
But
will say that 11th edition Combat Patrol is a little better than 10th,
okay,
but that's the bar is not very high.
right. Still miffed weird let Lucius keep his sword cane rather than just turning into a regular cane. Oh, you're far beyond me. Sorry.
Oh no, no, I under Lucius is one of my favorite characters from that game, and I totally understand.
I'm over here like, okay, I'll take your word
Yeah,
for it, man.
I get you. I'm there with you.
Malifaux's aesthetic never super appealed to me. Um, which is
Yeah, if you didn't
nothing
like
against it in any way, shape, or form. It's just not my kind of game.
if you weren't into steampunk horror circus, it wasn't for you. So, or
Also,
children's fairy
you
tales.
can't really use the guard troops to have his mech escort in more recent editions. Oh, that's annoying.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. That's unfortunate. I really liked Malifaux. That was a fun time. But that's old history now. Oh, weird. Nathan, if you're listening, I don't love you.
Oh, what just blooped? Say something, Kevin. Speak to me.
Yeah. Ah.
Oh,
Hi.
okay. Nope, I don't know what blooped on my computer. Then you're fine.
Okay. All right.
My chosen leader first edition was happy he became a master in second. Then they took his mechs. Well, I mean, I don't know what you're talking about, but the phrase "they took his mechs" is enough to make me sad.
I know exactly what he's
They
saying.
took my mechs, Odo.
Never take away a man's backs.
uh, I think that now that's it for Games Workshop news. That and the Star Trek delay. There's other tiny things, but um, nothing that isn't just like product releases. And I don't want to just get into product releases
Yeah,
because like there's
we talk. That's a Sunday rundown.
yeah, more stuff. Well, we never talk about non-Games Workshop product releases, and sometimes I wish we did because
That's true.
there's fun stuff like Conflict 47. Their story is moving into Japan invades America.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
some move. They're moving the timeline, which is always fun,
Yeah.
and everyone's getting some more units and stuff like that.
No, Josh, every game must be stagnant and stay exactly where it is when I was 15.
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, even 40K is moving a little bit. Just
That's
not
yeah, a
in
little bit. It's
nothing's
definitely
actually changed. The story's moved. It's just that nothing's actually changed.
right. The story has progressed. It's just that it has no zero effect on the galaxy.
Right. I mean, Cadia blew up. Didn't really change anything.
Right. There's still tons of Cadians.
Yeah, Cadia blew up, and in response, all the other guard squads got squatted.
Now we seem to blow up McCrag.
No, that means all the other Marines except.
I know. I'm saying this from a self-serving perspective.
Oh no, you can't. Okay, don't tell me you're turning into one of those. I only like Ultramarine Marine players. Look, Ultramarines. I don't hate Ultramarines at all. I think they can be cool. So I'm fully supportive of your journey to paint and play some of them. But if you're gonna tell me that that's all there should be, no.
It's okay, Josh. You're safe. I am not that person.
I know. Another effort is underway to bring back confrontation. Is that more Malifaux? I do not know. Sorry.
No, confrontation is remind me who made that confront. It was a French studio, I believe.
Oh.
And I can't remember the name. But regardless, it was I want now. I'm sure the commenter will correct me if I'm wrong, but it was a 48 millimeter game.
Oh.
It had much bigger. It was like Inquisitor scale.
Yeah.
And I remember it pretty vividly in my youth. I never played it, but I always remember the model. It was all metal. Of course, everything was back then. But yeah, that's interesting. I know it's been that. It's been through a few iterations over the years. They've tried to kind of relaunch it. Some like kind of soft launch it. I got a Adepticon many years ago had a fresh starter pack for it in the swag bag, and had some plastic. It was plastic models.
Confrontation was Rackham and was 28 millimeters.
Oh yes, 28. It was 28. Okay, so I must be remembering a different game.
But it was French.
Much appreciated. My memory in my old age and all of these games is slowly eating away at my psyche.
The source of non-metallic metal paint style.
Ooh,
that's a claim because I would say that the source of non-metallic metal paint style is people who painted metallics in the 15th century using very much non-metallic paints. But
we're speaking about miniatures.
Yeah, nothing. What's old is new. Nothing new under the sun. Right?
Yeah. You're right. Way to be pedantic on stream, Josh.
Yay!
Shallow and pedantic. Well, so that's cool. I always like when, even if I don't play them, when new miniatures games come into the market or return to the market, because it just it expands the entire hobby. It makes, even though we always, at least for the foreseeable future, are going to have this juggernaut in the room. There's always somewhere to go.
I mean, you don't have to engage with the juggernaut. There are lots of people who don't.
No, for sure. I mean, but the thing is, of course, like it's the path of least resistance thing.
Yes.
Because if you want to play a game, you need people to play with. So, oftentimes the easiest way to go about that is to play Games Workshop game.
Oh, don't worry, Omega.
Um,
Omega, I knew what you meant. I was just being an ass. So yeah.
yes, he was. Yeah. Don't listen to Josh.
Yeah, don't listen to me.
Take him seriously. Don't make that mistake.
Well, actually, yeah. Sorry, I didn't put on my usual voice for it. Well, actually.
So the like I, back when I got into Malifaux, which was when I quit 40K during 7th edition, which a lot of people did, and that's when we decided to get into Malifaux. And well, there was no one playing it around me, so I had to start a community. And well, that's not for everyone,
Yeah.
And that's the problem with a lot of these games is just finding people to play with, and it requires significantly more effort to do unless there happens to be that community near you. Or it's just you and a buddy and you just play every weekend and you're good enough with that, and that's fine. That's totally cool. That's awesome.
Statistically, that is most players.
Right. Like we often get into a rut of thinking that the convention scene and the game store scene is the scene for miniatures games, and that's not necessarily true. It's a different kind of scene. I guess that's the way to put it.
Watched the hopes for a new edition of Necromunda. Would love to see an Inquisitor Noble Force. They do a General Venator gang. I don't think they'll ever do Inquisitor because an Inquisitor is showing up in Necromunda. That's like an extinction level event, But a Noble House Force, I mean, that's kind of what Spires are. Like, Spires really say that if a Noble has to go into Necromunda, they do it in like the most, over the top funded way possible.
Right. Which is why Spires show up with all this cool gear that's meant to both challenge them and give them a distinct advantage over the Underhive.
Yep.
Because I don't want it to be too easy. I don't want to die. I mean, come on. They're doing this for fun. This is
right. I should get some gloves. There's all those noble house attachments anyway. Yeah, so far they do kind of live in the air in the realm of Dramatis Personae, right?
that's true.
Like the house, there's the house Amando, house Tier, house this, house that, all those detachments. And they're all just part of the alliances system, which, as we said in that box or that video, really needs to be redone.
Yep.
We'll see if they do anything with it at all.
Hey, you guys had a lot of really cool things to say. I like that video. Good job.
Thank you. Okay.
I'm so looking forward to this guy running up and doing absolutely nothing with this arc welder.
That's the one not true. He'll rapid fire so many times he kills himself.
Hey, he's got 2 wounds. Be fine.
Yeah, it's only a 1 damage gun, so he has to do it twice, right?
Yep.
Oh wait, no. You only have to roll an ammo check and fail it and go out of action. That's all you just go out of action.
Oh, that's right.
It ignores
That's
the number
true.
of wounds you have.
That's true, it does. Well, look, he's a prospect. It's fine.
Oh, well then, yeah.
You'll have only 2 options for exosuit dwarves, and then unless you count the Vartigen, is the prospect or this exosuit master.
I mean, there are Inquisitors with more official rules. It's just in Kill Team, because there's the Inquisitorial Kill Team.
Correct, yes.
Now, they don't have an Inquisitor, because, yeah, Inquisitors are, like, get planet-defying figures.
Yeah, a good example, actually, you know what I think are one of the coolest representations of an Inquisitor is Darktide Grendel.
Yeah, who doesn't
W-
ever show up physically in game, and you never meet him. You meet
Right,
his I forget what Rannick's title is, interrogator,
Interrogator. Yeah,
which is the title of the leader of the kill team, which is an interrogator, and everyone else is an
right,
acolyte. Yeah, but yeah, like seeing an, I mean, you'd probably be more likely to see a space marine in Necromunda than an inquisitor.
right.
Just because they're human doesn't mean that they're any less of a big deal.
Yeah, an Inquisitor, like, and it's funny because if you played Rogue Trader, when there's that part early on in the game, spoiler alert, so close your ears if you haven't played Rogue Trader, where you go into the bottom decks to solve an issue, and it's treated as this really, really big deal and a big like breach of etiquette that you're present in the lower decks because generations of people down there have never seen a Rogue Trader before.
Right.
They just have only heard of them.
Yeah,
And
the inquisitorial kill team is both very cool, but also like, I think we said this way back at the time. No, there was no way they were ever going to satisfy everyone with that.
yeah,
Because the reality is like, yeah, you would have to have, in order to satisfy everyone with an actual inquisitorial kill team, which is why they don't do it, by the way. You'd have to have every single option available at all times. Which is why they don't and won't, because they know that for many people, an inquisitor is just a path to make a an OC, which is not an insult. That's like kind of what they're for. But
right,
doing that in a way that is satisfying to everyone in game is a fool's errand. At least in a tabletop game where you have to model things. That's why, however, when you're playing like the RPG or video games, way more achievable. And that's kind of why they stick it there.
right. Because what happens is when you have enough options where you could make an Inquisitor that is your, self-insert OC, is that, well, then the problem is that everyone just chooses the best options out of those.
Right.
You
But
know,
yeah, the
why
interrogator
take
kill team is actually not very good. It's kind of the weakest part of that
right.
team, which is kind of funny. I mean, he's got very powerful rules, but he's not actually good in combat.
Which, I actually buy.
Yeah, I don't look at Rannick and see a combat monster. You know,
Yeah,
it's not the point. Is the point is he's smarter than everybody else.
right. Or at least he thinks he is.
In Dark Tide, he's smarter than everybody else. Especially including the tech priests.
Yes. That it I actually really enjoy all of the tech priests um dialogue.
Oh, I
It's
love
always
them.
fun
They're not
when they're the
smart.
ones that no. Well, they because and the reason why I really like that is it's not that they're not smart. Well, maybe it is in the context of what's going on, but their agendas are so alien to everybody else,
Right.
and like their viewpoint on how the world works is so different, and which tracks with how a adept of Mars sees everybody else. Like,
Yes. No,
we're just animals.
yeah, it's wonderfully done. Well, they call them
Um,
precursors when they're being nice,
yes,
which is like, well, you can be
this
like me eventually.
this precursor is doing exceptionally well.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to become a Scutari and get your life together.
I especially love when the Ogrins and the Skitarii talk
Yes.
because that is two very different sides of neither one understanding each other at all.
No, yes. Neither of those parties actually knows what's going on in that conversation. I
I'm
could see them doing
gonna
a
start.
modular Inquisitor kit eventually.
I could too. I think maybe there's a chance for that when they do redo Agents of the Inquisition,
Yeah.
and
But I don't see them ever getting like serious rules in any tabletop game because like it will be the problem where like everyone's just going to pick the same stuff if they're being competitive, which is what actually drives sales and um,
All
press.
decisions. Yeah.
Because it's unfortunate, like narrative doesn't sell.
At
Narrative
least
doesn't.
not the same.
No, or it doesn't sell loudly.
Yeah. Like, why give your why give your Inquisitor a bolt gun when he can have, a combi plasma? I mean, and especially with the way modern 40K works, where you're not paying points for anything,
Right.
generally speaking. It used to be. I remember the uh, Witch Hunters Codex and the Grey Knights Codex, not the Grey Knights specific Codex, but it was uh, the Demon Hunters Codex way back in 5th edition, where it was, Build a Bear Inquisitor. And you could put Inquisitor and Terminator armor, give him a side cannon, and give him a demon hammer. So everyone's Inquisitor was what he has with a different paint job,
Right.
and yeah, I just can feel the Storm Welder already. It's gonna be you guys are going to fear this Storm Welder by the end of the campaign. I promise.
What's probably going to happen is we're not going to shoot at it because of the Stormwalder, and he's going to get a few kills that way.
He's going to be the most expensive prospect ever.
I don't know. Someone out there has put the Noct Cool on with their default kit on there.
the Storm Welder is 75 credits on its own.
Oh, I mean the Deloc Prospect Noct Cool is like what 110 for the weapon.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's the most expensive. Or the No, wait, the Goliath one is just a Stormwalder. Yeah.
Yeah. He's got a saw, and I don't know why he has a saw, but he does.
For sawing.
Well, yeah. So, and also too, in pure honesty and transparency, I'm also just building these guys as narratively like what the exosuits might have. Like
Yeah.
this guy is obviously somebody who's like tearing apart and repairing metal or something like that, which would be useful when going through the Underhive. Which is why uh, the clan that I'm choosing is the one that specifically their thing is like they excavate the ruins of defunct hives.
So they got a reason to be there.
Right. Like it doesn't have as much in-game stuff. It's much more campaigny. Like you get extra credits and you get to buy an item. You get 2d3 times 10 to buy an item, and you don't. But any credits are lost if that you don't spend. So
My camera die
not
again?
bad.
Dang it, my camera's
Um,
just not staying awake today. 1 second, my paint dries, I'll fix it.
I should get some metal on this guy's backpack.
Squat gang to complete an ore sale, and then things get out of hand.
Well, my whole story, and it was actually thanks to, and I wish I could remember who. I feel bad for not remembering who. For a commenter on last time I was on stream talking about that it was a good idea for my squats because I wanted to be on because no one else was on the mouse train side so far in this campaign, and
Well,
not that
Mitchell
that's a
is,
big
but
deal.
yeah.
Well, I know, but like but not that that's a huge deal for how the campaign actually functions. But I wanted to be on that side. Is that because the squats are known for making chems and transporting and selling chems, that my guys are actually wanting to help maintain the population of mouse drain so they can juice them into chems to sell. So I really like that. And I wish I could remember who contributed that. I unfortunately forgot. So if you're currently in chat, please shout yourself out because I would love to give you credit for that.
There we go. Man, I don't know what's up with my camera today.
So I found that this is some behind the scenes talk. I twisted the cord around and put a weight on it, and that helped keep the dongle from jiggling. I think that freezes the camera.
Interesting. Well, I guess I'll keep an eye
Because
on it.
I have not had that problem since I started doing that.
Okay. Just keep the dongle, the cord still, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might try that.
I got a few exosuits. I got an Exomaster with a I still have to work out all the credits and stuff to figure out exactly what I want to do, but I would love to give him because I'd love to give him a heavy melta, not a multi melta, a heavy melta.
Oh, jeez. What does a heavy melta do?
It's it's a multi melta.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So is it
I'm not
180
sure why.
credits?
No, I think it's like 140.
Oh, wow. That's a savings.
Yeah. It's still a rapid fire longer range melta gun.
Well, that's BS. I want one.
Well, be squat. Be
No,
me. Join the bearded ones.
I don't want to do that.
Well, I can't help you then. But I'm definitely bringing a Vartigen. I never leave home without a Vartigen. Because as far as brutes go, even though they're on the expensive side, they are worth every credit.
Oh, I can't wait for it to die like game 1, and then you can't get another one because of the Secundus rules.
Oh no, my poor Vartigen. Everyone's going to gun for it because they want it gone.
That I am a little bit worried about that aspect of this campaign. Is like if I manage to kill that thing, then he doesn't get to play with it anymore.
I mean, so it's one of those things where just like a role playing game where you just accept that bad things are probably going to happen to you and you just got to roll with it.
Well, I don't mind bad things happening to me. That's normal. It's when bad things are
I
happening
know.
because someone's being a douche. Then it's like okay.
Okay, well I mean, but also the the fair thing is too is that you can't control whether or not you kill somebody or not
No, it's such
unless
a
you
low
target.
chance unless you're taking
Yeah,
that one enforcer skill that nobody
right.
takes.
Because that enforcer skill exists only to be a dick.
I mean, I think what it actually exists is supposed to give you a higher chance of capturing them,
Uh-huh.
but nobody uses it. Nobody uses it to be a jerk either. Like, just nobody uses it. It's just bad.
Fair enough.
It's not a good skill, Bront. The trick is inexpensive redundancy. Yeah, that's the problem. And like I
Well,
know I'm starting out with I think I am gonna start out with a Malkadon. Because I think I am actually gonna go for a full incursion gang. Just because,
yeah,
it's something very new and different, right?
and here's the thing is that I am 100% in favor of folks taking their big fun toys.
Yeah.
And especially for this campaign where you don't get as nearly as much ability to do stuff. Like you get stuff and then you get smaller as the campaign goes
Yeah,
on,
this
basically.
this campaign has
And
a very different list building flavor because normally what I would do is just like, okay, well my specialist is going to start out with a las gun because I'll get a grenade launcher game 2. But that's a lot harder.
right,
Um but on the other hand, if you start too elite with all of your toys, then you'll be way down on people in the ash waste, which is a big problem.
yes,
And then that causes you to lose games and therefore people and therefore, then they die
yep,
anyway.
yep,
Because yeah, the horde of flies strategy doesn't work very well when you can't replenish the flies.
yeah,
Which is why I
yeah.
am starting with a combi or heavy bolter gal.
Yep.
That's my big toy
Yeah.
of that, and I figure that and the Malkadon. It is also a bit of why, like, okay, the Spires are kind of encouraged, is because they don't take credits to or anything.
That's a good point. Yeah.
They just level up with kills. So I'm gonna bring my Malkadon. It's like, okay, if I can get some early kills using their mobility and their, of course, I'm putting the missile launchers on them because it's cooler.
Well, yeah. It does. It is a really cool look for that model. But yeah, I'm going. I mean, it's hard not to go elite with squats though.
Yeah, squats is like already an elite gang.
So bring in big mining toys and uh, see what happens. Come on, we should start on that base. Where's my Agrax? There it is. Oh,
That in there. It's starting to look good,
it's looking really good.
but this is a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Well, we knew this was a long-term project.
We knew this would be the pain in the butt part. Because, like, either you prime it gray and you fill in
Yeah.
the
There's no
the
winning.
white, or you prime it white and you fill in the gray, and I went with that one. The only thing I do regret is the choice of primer, because that was
Fair
making it
enough, because
harder
you
still.
really it narrowed your options.
Well, it's just that's the fact that everything's hydrophobic is making it harder to
Uh huh.
actually paint.
It's interesting. I never had that. I they must have changed the formulation for Wraithbone because I primed an army in that. And I did not have that problem.
Yeah, and it could have also been a product of like the environment of the day I was priming.
Possibly.
It was very hot.
Yeah, it could have changed the chemistry of how that goes on and finishes. Because I was trying when you mentioned that, I was trying to think back, and I was like, I know I've
That
used
being
Wraithbone
said, last
before.
time I used Wraithbone, it also wasn't like this, and I know they've changed the cans because the nozzles are way worse.
So maybe it is a different formula.
Yeah, and it would make sense because it's supposed to be used with contrast paints.
True. These hoses. There was someone who was asking about it was I think it was on Reddit. I can't remember. But we were all talking about the how the squats and the Votan the leagues of Votan interact, and it basically comes down to the leagues basically see the squats as backwaters cousins,
Yeah, as they would.
and really don't want a whole lot to do with them. Like they will talk and they have some common ground, but overall they just keep to themselves. One very deep rock galactic theme with my crew composition here. Rogue Core,
There we go.
which is very good, by the way.
What is what?
Rogue Core,
Oh, yeah,
the Deep Rock Galactic spinoff.
right. The more combat-y one.
Yeah. And it's also a roguelike. So if you like roguelikes, it's a good
Oh, there
game.
you go.
I like a roguelike from time to time. I just finished Doom the Dark Ages came out with the DLC. I
Oh,
just finished all of that, and it was really good. It adds the chain spear as a weapon, which what that does is it lets you, instead of if you haven't played the Dark Ages, the whole shtick of the of the game is you have a shield which lets you stand and fight. Like you don't spend a whole lot of time dodging around like you did in Doom Eternal, and so you stand and fight with the shield, and it's really cool how they do it. I actually really like the Dark Ages. I thought it was a really good game, but the chain spear is allows you to play more like Doom Eternal, where you can like whip around the map and you move really fast, and so you can switch between the shield and the spear mid fight,
Oh, there you go.
and to like kind of adapt to what the situation is, because some enemies are easier to deal with the shield, and some are easier to deal with the spear. So but yeah, I thought it was excellent. Um, the Finished that, and did all the master levels, and it was a good time.
Good.
I'm a big fan of Doom though.
Yeah, I played Eternal, and by the end of it, I was very bored of it. Um,
You know what? For Eternal, I can understand that.
it just
Did you play any of the DLC for? Are we talking like deep into the DLC for
nope,
Eternal,
no,
or
just
okay?
the base game. By the end of it, I just did not enjoy the combat loop as much. Um, Mostly just because the prevalence of enemies that took the
Require a
initiative
certain
away.
weapon.
Oh, well, they took the initiative away from you, and you had to wait for
Oh
them to do their thing before you could kill them.
yes,
And
yes.
it's like that's not what I'm here to play Doom for.
Fair enough. I can see that.
Especially when it came to those big shield guys, who's like you would just end up waiting like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds for them to do the right attack. Otherwise, they were actually invincible. And it's like that's not.
Oh yeah, yeah. The hunters. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like that's not fun.
I can see that. I can respect that opinion. You can be more aggressive against those guys, but it is way harder. Um,
Yeah, and especially when there's a bunch of other things going on.
right, and there's like if you play like if you get into the master levels and the DLC and stuff, the that makes you fight multiples of those guys at once. So you have to really like manage that combat, and that's either fun or it's not fun. Kind of
Yeah.
depends. I thought it was fun, but that is totally up to taste. It was also incredibly frustrating because it would be one of those situations where I would play an encounter probably 12 or 14 times before I actually was able to get past it.
There was a time when I would have done that, and I think I just that time has passed for me.
That's fair.
At least for that kind of game.
Hmm. Yeah, it was definitely, there were parts that were a test of patience, and what was funny about it was I'm not terribly great at shooters actually, but I always play every shooter on the hardest difficulty. Um, and maybe that's why I'm not good at them.
I was about to
Uh,
say,
self
might be a connection here.
But anyway, but I for Doom, I always played it on the Nightmare, which was always the difficulty before you had the limited lives or the one death.
Right. Ugh.
And because I've tried those, and I do not have the skills to play at that level, and I'm okay with that. But I really enjoyed the chain spear when fighting cyber demons, because I could enact the ritual of humiliate the cyber demon, and it just could never land a blow on me. I'm flying around it and blowing its arms off, and it's just sitting there. And I always love to humiliate the cyber demon.
Well, here's some ancient news, but I just don't think you and I have talked about it. You saw that
Yeah.
the 4 legendary lords for the end times of Warhammer 3 have been announced.
Yes.
Well, 3 were announced, and 1 was accidentally spoiled by Sega.
Oh, fair. But regardless, the end times are really coming, which is cool. That
Ugh.
was a um that was a bittersweet time for Warhammer Fantasy Battle.
Yeah.
Uh well, partly because no one knew what was coming,
Right.
and so it's kind of retroactively bittersweet. Um, but Warhammer Fantasy for many editions always existed like at the precipice of the end times, and then at the very end of 8th edition it was the end times,
Right.
so and they even marketed it as such, but we didn't know where the story was going to go, and no one knew it was going to go to Age of Sigmar.
Right. Including Games Workshop.
Well, that's because nobody bought the game. So I mean, to put it very bluntly, that's the reason why Age of Sigmar existed, is because Warhammer Fantasy sold really badly those last few years.
And yeah, granted, it sold really badly because of their decisions, but look, we're all
I
trying to
mean,
find the
yes,
one who did this.
yeah, it was definitely a combination of things. They were because that was the edition where they introduced hordes, and so it was already very expensive game, because at the time, Warhammer Fantasy was much more expensive than 40K to play, because of the amount of models that you needed,
Yep.
and the and now they introduced hordes, which meant like you could have units of 80 guys, and in some cases that was how you should play those units. So that's like 4 boxes of dudes for a single unit.
It's amazing how that has changed because now, the points costs in Warhammer and 40K get lower and lower and lower. Meanwhile, Age of
Yeah,
Sigmar, like, really doesn't need that many models compared to 40K.
like a horde army in Age of Sigmar, like a real horde in Age of Sigmar is like, outside of a couple really outstanding things, is like 80 models.
Unless you're going full meme mode with certain armies.
Well, that's what I mean. Is
Yeah.
like if you're playing Flesh Eater Courts, you can have 120 ghouls, and that's but back in the Warhammer Fantasy days, 120 ghouls is nothing.
Was everyone who played vampire counts had to have 120 of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8th edition was a
So,
mess in terms of rule set. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Fantasy's death was self-inflicted. Let's not pretend otherwise.
oh no, oh absolutely, 100%. Like, I did not enjoy 8th edition. It was a rules disaster. I remember I was running, that was at the same time that Ard Boys was a thing. I don't know. Do you know what Ard Boys is?
the the unit?
No, the tournament.
Oh no, no. Sorry, it's like I know what Ard boys
So,
are, but
okay. Yeah. So, history lesson. Some of the commenters may be as wizened as I am, but there was a Games Workshop ran a tournament circuit uh, in the uh, midish 2000s, where it was called Ard Boys, and what it was is encouraging people to bring the most broken combinations of models that you can,
oh Jesus.
and um and the tournaments did not even require you to be painted.
Okay, so just off the bat, we're starting off with a
Yeah,
mistake. Why would you do that?
and I was a judge for an Ard Boy for the semi regionals for Ard Boys for Warhammer Fantasy, and I remember there was an interaction with a steam tank and another unit, and I can't remember what it was specifically, but the rules were completely contradictory. There was no clean way to resolve this interaction, which was not uncommon in Warhammer Fantasy.
Ah, of course.
And I got the opponent of the steam tank player threatened to take me into the parking lot if I did not rule in his favor. So Ard Boys was a mistake. Come on, dry you, SOB.
Play ahead elves and love using the Dragon Mage as IHQ. That is the nature of it. Well, hopefully Old World's at least a little bit better. Maybe not balanced, but
Old World's a lot of fun.
a lot of those. I mean, just a lot of those
Um,
people just left the community. or to be quite blunt, died out, literally.
Also true.
Like, there's a big, one of the things that a lot of people who are very familiar with both will tell you is that part of the reason why the Age of Sigmar community, which is by no means perfect, by the way, and of course has its own toxic
No.
elements, but part of the
Yeah.
reason why it's a lot better and less toxic than the 40k community is that a lot of those people bailed when the whole thing went down with Warhammer Fantasy.
Right.
And then never came back to Age of Sigmar.
Yep. And the Age of Sigmar community, by and large, is pretty great. I've really enjoyed my time in there and being a part of leadership in there. But it's certainly, I mean, it's got it like anything. Any social gathering has its bad actors.
Yeah.
But I'm just waiting for the stupid glaze to dry, and then I can get back to this guy. I should just have another model I can
You over
work
here
on.
applying gray to things until I die.
Yeah. Well, don't die until you're done with it, please. That's my only request.
I'll try.
You can make it. It can be the thing that you die and that we collect at your funeral.
I'm gonna will it to you, then you have to
And
finish it.
oh no! That's Josh, don't die.
And to Kevin, I leave my vast collection of miniatures if he completes the Zone Mortalis. Yeah, oh my god. Oh yeah, and that's also very true, is that local, like, and I say that in general. The reality is I've dealt with very, very, very little of the toxic 40k community personally.
Oh yeah,
except for the
yeah,
internet, which doesn't count because at this point that's just the internet. Like everything on, Age of Sigmar is a terrible
yeah.
internet community too. Because internet communities are overrun with bots and bad actors because people have figured out that one of the best ways to make money on the internet is to say very evil things and to have people react to you, and that works for Age of
Exactly.
Sigmar and 40k and everything else.
Yep.
So yeah, and there were certainly lots of Warhammer Fantasy groups that were fine, and there are certainly lots of 40k groups that are fine. Our local one, I think, is good.
Yeah.
Lots of them are. I do not mean to say that 40k is by its nature a toxic fandom. I don't think it is really.
No, I don't think so either. It's just it's a classic issue of like the problem people are allowed.
Yep.
And the people that are perfectly fine aren't, because they don't have to be.
Right.
And it's just unfortunately a part of human nature that negative things get more attention than positive things.
Oops, damn it. Humbug. This explains why reason 2 of building a green group was dealing with problem players. Yes, yes, it was for a reason.
Yes, yes. Because they're out there and you'll always encounter them.
Yep. Well,
but they're rarer than you think.
Our friend who owns our local game store is fond of saying, when you open a new game store, the first people through your door will be the people who got kicked out of the last one.
That makes a lot of sense.
And which is not, and that is a generalization, but it is the same thing. When you start a new game group, some of the first people through into your game group will be people who, for some reason or another, were dissatisfied with their previous one. And that can be for a couple different reasons. It could be because, of something that's not their fault and they're looking for something nicer, which is, what you want. It could also be that they're a jerk and they're hoping to establish a place where they can act like that. And
right.
Anytime you start any kind of new space of anything, you have to be very wary of that.
I mean, that did happen with our Age of Sigmar community.
Yeah.
And it took, I mean, not to like advertise my video here, but that was, one of the big lessons that I learned, and one of the big teaching moments that learning moments that I had was handling that situation. And ultimately, those people don't play with us anymore, and it's all for the better.
Used to run your Warhammer Fantasy tournaments in half the budget of time because of how smooth it was for everyone. Good lord. Speed run.
Nice.
Oh, this is satisfying to look at, but it's
See,
been.
you just have to
Go ahead.
go ahead. Go. No, you go ahead. You started. Go.
Well, I was going to say it's been an hour, so I'm going to take a quick drink and a stretch break. Do the same if you've been sitting for an
Okay,
hour.
yeah. Watch out for your health, everybody. Stand up and do a stretch. Do
Don't
it
be
with me now.
don't be shrimping too much, because we all do it.
Do it now. Reach up to the sky and down to your toes. Reach up to the sky and down to your toes. Have you done it with me now?
There you
Good
go.
job. Are you feeling better? You should be. If you're not, then well, don't take medical advice from a miniatures YouTuber.
Unless the medical advice is get up and stretch now and then, in which case, yeah, you should do that. However, you should also double check with your doctor, who's going to back me up on that. Dr. Sloth, hello, who says it's real shrimp maxing hours. I mean, yeah, I'm going right back to shrimping, but I'm going to try and not kill my back a little sooner by getting up and stretching just that little bit. Yeah, problem players always have one or two people in their corner, and it can be a combination of things. Very often, it's just people who don't want to rock the boat and just don't like conflict.
Yes.
Which, but yeah, there's a lot of life lessons from that, right? Like, and
yeah, it's not just a miniatures thing. That's
yeah, and bad actors will take advantage of those people. You know, it's the call to decorum. Well, this isn't a problem. It's only a problem because you're mentioning it. You know, if you wouldn't talk about it, this isn't a problem. And then what happens is the people who are actually having a problem, they just kind of they just kind of disappear.
right.
That's the real sad part is that people won't tell you usually that, like, oh, I'm leaving because this guy's being a jerk. They just stop showing up.
Right. And that's
And that's kind of why, if you're planning on running a group, it's your job to keep an eye on that.
and really like keeping actually I'm going to be doing a video in the future about leadership and the like it's one of those big things about you got to be willing to just you got to be willing to have the hard conversations.
Yeah.
And that sucks. I mean, and part of it is we're in a hobby with a lot of people that and I'm one of them. I have social anxiety, and like it's not like it's not pleasant for me when I have to confront somebody because they're behaving badly in the toy soldier group, but it has to be done, otherwise I'm not going to have a group.
Yep. Hello, Spudgy, who says they submitted their thesis. Congratulations, almost Dr. Spudgy.
Congratulations, that's really big. That is something that will forever be out of my reach because I'm a terrible student. It's a miracle.
That's a great point, Spudgy. People don't want to cause drama by complaining about something, even if it's a complaint, and then people who are bad actors will use that by, to
Yep, absolutely, 100%.
on purpose to shut down complaints. And you see that in all walks of life, not just our own. Unfortunately, yeah, there's no way around it. You sometimes just have to have those card conversations.
And I've had those conversations where I've been yelled at, and I've had those conversations where it was very civil and we came to an understanding about something. And I mean, but unfortunately, if you don't do it, it's going to ruin your group. You lose control of stuff like that, and it starts to infect everything else, and then it just becomes a club for those people and the people that are either tolerating them or that are with them.
Yep. Ugh.
I felt like I've been too serious for too long.
Well, here it's one thing a person is autistic for some other form. Yeah, and then that's another thing. I mean, like, that is a big difference between somebody who's neurodivergent and someone who's just being a jerk. And sometimes that circle, that Venn diagram is a circle. Because unfortunately, neurodivergent people are people too, and some of them are jerks. I would know, I am one. Neurodivergent are a jerk. Yes.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that is, and to go back into serious mode for just a real, for maybe a minute or so, it, as somebody, I managing your neurodivergence is a part of being that. And that's not to me say that you have to be perfect all the time and you have to always conform with everything else and everything, but you do have to, part of the responsibility is on you to manage your symptoms of what's going on with you. And you have to be aware of what's going on, and it doesn't give you license to just be mean to other people because you're neurodivergent. So, not saying that that's what you are saying, but it's definitely uh, a weird fuzzy line for sure.
Well, at the end of the day, as that's to say, it's intent and willingness to dialogue, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, it's about it's really, you want to be adult, you got to take responsibility for your actions like everyone else. Yeah, that's about the best way to put it. And then at the end of the day, all true good things are based on nuance and understanding and communication.
I definitely don't paint anything that has been said here with like a broad brush of like this is always how it has to be. It's when it comes to personal stuff like this or dealing with problem players or whatever, it's all case by case. You handle it. Each case has its own thing. You have rules and you expect people to abide by those rules, but then when it comes down to people just behaving badly, then that's something that you kind of handle piece by piece.
Well, it's been definitely much more informative and useful conversation than the Fluffy Roaster 5000, which is applicable to nobody really.
Thankfully. All right, now that we're talking about the Fluffy Roaster 5000,
don't hey
get back on.
I had a segue, but if you got one.
You did? Oh, okay. All right, I'm here.
But I was gonna talk about Space Marines.
Oh yeah.
Because I have decided to keep and paint mine.
Have you?
They're always relevant, and like, also I can get an army on the table a lot faster than guard.
That's true.
Shit.
That's true.
Sorry, language here. I messed up my painting. So the question is, how am I painting my Space Marines?
Well, what chapter you want to do, bud?
I mean, yeah, Spudgy. I mean, yeah, someone's gotta, you gotta apologize when you mess up. That's the real big difference, right?
Sure.
Like I will apologize for messing up by painting Space Marines. A true crime.
It is.
That's me being facetious, by the way. Because it's like there's two wolves inside me. One of them wants to just get an army done, and the other one wants to be a special boy who has my own chapter, right? And these wolves are fighting.
All right, we gotta let the alpha win.
Yes, the concept that does not actually exist in wolves and was based on an incredibly flawed study. Yes.
No, but I'm going to use it to determine my masculinity. Damn it.
Minotaurs. Oh no. Okay, I will say though, I am very much I want to be a nice guy kind of guy, so I would never do the Minotaurs just because I like the chapter that is the jerk chapter is not going to be the one I do. And I realize that in 40k that is a like a fallacy, right? But and yeah, that's probably like, you want to do your own chapter or pre-existing. I don't know. To be fair, the only way true to play guard is have enough entry to fill the deployment zone that you can't see the board when fully deployed. I mean, I agree. It's part of the problem. See, that's the thing. It's like, on the one hand, why do I want to play a non-custom chapter? Just to have, so I don't decision paralysis myself into nothingness.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Because like I just get the darn things done. Why do I want to have Minotaurs? Or do you guys do Minotaurs? Do you guys do the Mino? Because I think that's actually more accurate, because I think it was King Minos in Greek, not Minos, right? Not like Minas Tirith, which would probably be Minas Tirith.
Hey, we're in Indiana, and
you're lucky we can pronounce anything.
Right.
I mean, we do have a lot of cows around here, but anyway. There's also color scheme. Why would I want to do a custom faction? Well, two reasons. Number one, I can pick my own color scheme, and number two,
Yep.
I feel like if I do a custom faction, I know Tors. Oh yeah, they do Tor instead of Tar. Um,
Well, I'm gonna continue saying tar, man of tar.
I'm gonna mean Indiana is a flyover state, which means you only fly over it and you don't stop there. We're a state near Chicago. That's what you need to know. An actual city that you could point to on a map.
Hey, we got Indianapolis. That's where the Indianapolis 500 is.
I was about to say, I thought you're about to say, but you have Indianapolis. That's where Gen Con is.
That also true. Yeah.
And the
Sorry, I
reason
let
it's
my
at Gen Con
previous.
is because it's in the middle of the country, and that's it.
Yeah.
Mantis Warriors are cool. I thought we were in southern Wisconsin. No, that's where I think you might be confused because that's where Adepticon is.
Yes.
I'm also very purposely vague about where I am just because it's funny.
Indiana's a long state.
Yes, it's a tall state. Space Marines should all be word bearers. Lorgar always tells the truth. Y'all grow corn and such. Yes, Indiana is also called Corn Hub. It's not. I'm being.
That's clever. I like it though.
You never heard
I
that
might
one?
start using that. No, I haven't heard that
Oh
one
my gosh,
actually.
yeah, it's the logo of that one website except corn. But anyway, the big reason I want to do a custom is, of course, the chance to make my own story, chance to make my own paint scheme, and
Mhm.
I think the biggest one is because I feel like I could then use everything from every other faction
Mhm.
without
I
being
mean, that's what my
tied to those factions. Like I could
eh,
play, I'd have to switch my rules to like, okay, today I'm playing using the Dark Angels rules, so I could put a version of Lionel Johnson on the table in my faction, right?
uh-huh.
And
That's totally legit.
so it's kind of like a future proofing thing.
Hmm. Well, my friend Joe does that. I mean, with his Space Marines are painted like kind of like almost kind of pre-heresy Death Guard, but I mean he's used them to play Space Wolves, he's used them to play Blood Angels, he's used them to play Ultramarines, and so, you know, that's not outside the realm of possibility for sure.
Of course, then the problem is I got to
And
think
it
of a custom Eldar faction. That would require me to play Eldar though.
Yeah, Eldar are gross.
Ah,
Official stance of miniatures rundown is Eldar are gross.
I think I am the only one in the group that does not actively dislike Eldar, so you might be not wrong there. I was gonna say, hey, you can't speak for the entire group, and then I realized, well, no, Mitchell hates Eldar. I don't think Cody loves him. I don't know his stance on Eldar. We'll have to ask. I don't hate Eldar. I think they're kind of cool.
They're not. The
The,
filthy elves.
the dinosaurs are.
The dinosaurs are. Look, here's the thing. Eldar are beautiful models, but they're filthy.
I see.
Look, if it doesn't have a beard, it doesn't get my respect. And the beard doesn't have to be physical. The beard can live in your heart.
This is the cool thing about Eldar. Oh, Omega, just going off what you said with your story. It's that like Eldar can kind of move between all three cultures.
Yes.
Um, I guess you can't really go back to the craft worlds once you've been a Cabalite, but like there's
No, they're not
Exodites
too thrilled about you there.
and
Yeah.
then there's the Corsairs, and then there's the craft worlds, and they all kind of intersect
Right.
in a way that other factions don't really allow.
Yeah, they're just a bunch of all this intermingling. It's like a puzzle in a thunderstorm with these Eldar. Ugh, gross. See, the Dwarven way. There's a section for elves. There's
I'm not gonna make the jokes I was gonna make. It's just you did not go there, but yeah, if you go to a Dark Eldar, if you go to Dark Eldar, if you indulge in that, you do mess up your Soulstone. It's something that the raiders have to be careful of, and what kind of determines whether a Corsair eventually just becomes a Drakari is if you get too cruel and too stuff. Like, yeah, you do like, whoops, my Soulstone's kind of messed up, and now the Craft Worlds can't save me, so I guess I get better just go full Drakari and stave off my permanent death by torturing forever. I do hope they bring more. I hope we get more Exodite minis. I want to see that as a full faction.
Oh yeah, for sure. And in all seriousness, the Eldar are specifically the Exodite stuff is really really cool. Like, I may not like elves, but I will admit when they have cool models.
Or at least the dinosaur
Same
part of them.
thing. Even the elf part is it looks good. I am comfortable enough. I am secure enough in my dwarvenness to say that.
You can sound like a man making an excuse for why he would totally snog David Bowie. But anyway.
Hey, who's to say I wouldn't?
Waiting for Kislev Old World. I mean, yeah, like they teased that so long ago. Where's Kislev? Kislev.
Yeah.
I want Kislev.
I would love to see that.
And yeah, I think Smudgy was talking about them to use that to then make a feudal guard regiment. Which yeah, I totally agree. Mostly because then you could do that with minis that aren't the Old Hammer Empire minis, which are so old that it would look awful.
Yeah. Those models have not aged well.
It kind of worked back when like you still had the old Cadians because like they kind of matched, but nowadays you put like Empire swordsman parts on modern Cadians is like, wow, that those aren't the same. Yeah, the Exodyites are arguably the healthiest Eldar faction because they're not all messed up like Drakari are, kind of permanently messed up. And they're not like super messed up in a different way like the Craft Worlds. They're just kind of, they're just kind of chilling on their planets, living their own lives.
And I'll never not relay the story in the Leagues of Votann Codex where they laid siege to an Exodite world because they wanted the minerals, because of course they did. And they gave the Exodites an opportunity to teleport off-world, and the Exodites said, no, you're going to have to take it from our cold dead hands, and then they virus bombed the Exodite world. So, happy ending for everybody.
And the dinosaurs wrote it down on their meteorite of grudges. That would be the funniest, best option, is if the culturally, the dinosaurs are A, sentient, and B, just dwarfs.
Oh, wait, I don't like that.
And the elves just have no concept of why that's a problem.
But in all seriousness, too, in the lore, though, the leagues and Eldar do communicate. It's just that the leagues think that the Eldar are just so haughty and aloof that they'd have no interest in like ongoing like relationships with them.
Which is 100% accurate because the Eldar are haughty and aloof. Yeah, if the Craft Worlds went away, the Exodites would kind of all get, they only get to exist because they're being protected by the Craft Worlds.
Right.
Because they don't really have fleets. I want to see a giant spaceship that's just like a giant dinosaur.
That's where the idea for Dino Blade came from.
Exactly. Ancestor dinosaur ghosts. See, yeah, exactly.
All right, we're cooking here, guys. We got an idea. We got some
and I'm including the
here.
bad like Scottish dwarven accents that Total War Warhammer uses.
Yep.
Like, us going in the book. It's just a dinosaur. It's like, what the heck?
That's just how they are. I don't know. We deal with it. That's really funny.
My other problem with my Space Marine wanting to do custom chapters is that I always like custom chapter doesn't need to be giant kit batching project, and that's where I get like, I always want to plan too much different,
Yeah, and here's the thing, though, you don't need to do that with Space Marines though in order to be a different chapter.
Exactly.
It
No,
really just comes down to different colors, man.
I know I don't, and then the fact that my brain wants to is the problem.
That's fair.
Because like, oh, but I want them to have this theme and this da 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 da, and it's like, no, you should just paint them different colors. It's
And then it starts like, oh, I need all these Bretonian models now to do this. And
hey, I'm slowly working through that. This kind of got delayed by this
I
project. Thank goodness I remember how to sculpt chainmail.
right?
Because that came in a lot of handy. It could be like Sean Connery and Dragonheart.
That, yes.
I'll forego doing my Sean Connery impression.
I haven't thought about that movie, and I have no idea how long. I kind of want to add an electricity effect to this arc welder.
Just like an OSL or like sculpted electricity?
Sculpted.
Ooh, you lost me.
I'm sorry.
Really wanted to lean into the Greek theming. Veteran breaches for heresy using hoplite shields and power steers. Yeah. The other problem is that instead of doing serious things, I always want to do jokes as my custom chapters, and that never
the
holds.
problem with and the problem with that is that like you said, it only holds your interest for so long.
And I know that, which is why I never bother to like actually pursue them anymore. I just like, that's funny, and then don't do it. Also, every time I come up with my own custom color scheme, it always seems to involve gray as the primary. Which is boring.
I mean, gray isn't boring.
You
can do a lot of really cool stuff with gray. I think gray looks really great if you do a lot of like weathering and chipping and stuff.
Yes.
Then gray gets really interesting. I've actually been kind of on a quest for a paint that satisfies this very specific need I have, and I'm really looking forward to. Not really looking forward to. I'm really looking for a paint that is that kind of industrial blue green, that light blue green. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, and I think what you're looking for is the interior of a Russian cockpit from the Soviet Union.
Yes, yes.
So in that case, first off, there is actually a marker on the shelves at the store. The AK Interactive markers, they have one that's like interior. That's probably what you're looking for. Kind of like that enamel blue, that enamel blue green, right?
Yeah.
AK Interactive definitely makes that paint.
Okay, I'll have to check next time I'm in.
Check their rack. Check the I don't know if I actually have that marker with me. I don't think I do because I don't think I have any use for that color specifically. Aha, wait, no, yes I do. Russian cockpit turquoise. Look at that.
Ooh.
Like that kind of color?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, because that like that enamel turquoisey color, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yep. AK Interactive makes that paint. I'm sure you could find something else that is very close in Army Painter.
Because I wanted to do a bunch of terrain, Mechanicus terrain in that scheme with a bunch of chipping.
Yeah, because it looks very.
I think
real.
that would look really good. Yeah. I think that would look really good, and it'd be something that's different than browns and metals for a 40K board,
right,
or a Necromunda board.
I always love reds on like faded reds, right? Like this was once Martian owned terrain that's been, because red also chips really well.
Right.
But that enamel color would be very different and very interesting. Screw, now heck, now I want to try that.
Don't steal my ideas.
Too late.
You can steal my ideas.
Hello, James Burke, who says Flesh Fist chapter. Ew.
No, don't you that. That could be
Flesh
amazing.
fists, like just like everyone's just Mr. Blobby.
No, it's they don't wear gauntlets, you moron.
They just. Well, wait, but what color would their armor be? Would it just be flesh colored?
You could totally do that. That would be hilarious.
That would be gross. It'd be like the flesh orcs we always threaten.
I kind of want to paint a marine in a flesh tone now.
Ugh.
He's squishy.
Oh god, you shoot them with a bolter round, and it doesn't penetrate, just kind of goes and like a few inches into their flesh armor, and then like stays there. It's like the Blob from X-Men. Like, are you guys
They get
sure
a
you're not a
5.
Nurgle?
They get a 5 up. Feel no pain.
Cool. Yeah, Omega, we tried to do the music and we just kept getting slapped with copyright, so we're still trying to figure out how to do that.
Yeah,
Short of me
maybe I'll make my
composing
own.
music. Because, like, it's
I'm
actually
about to say
easier for Twitch, because Twitch isn't as merely as mean about copyright,
right.
but YouTube is really mean. And what I don't want is I don't want the VODs for this to get, like, copyright struck and then have a bunch of really obnoxious ads. So, if anyone has a solution that is
Let
non-AI
us know.
generated, we do not want any AI-generated music.
Please don't.
On that, I refuse. But yeah, if anybody knows of a site or a channel or whatever that like just goes, oh yeah, here's some YouTube music, please do point us towards it. Because yes, I would also like to have some light instrumental in the background. Painting all their armor to look like massive marshmallows. That would just be white.
No, there's tones in there.
No, you know what you
Toasted
could do?
marshmallows.
You could do they're white, but then they have toast marks on them.
Yes.
The toasted marshmallow marine chapter. The s'mores chapter.
All right, so we're getting back into the realm of a joke.
That's the
that
problem.
Will only hold.
Right. However, I think s'mores have a pleasing color scheme.
They do. They're very pleasing.
Royalty-free composers. I'll have to look into those. Yeah, Two Steps from Hell, Audio Machine. Okay. Yeah, as long as as long as it's someone who doesn't get us actually like copyright struck on YouTube is the issue. One second, I'm gonna write down s'more marines.
I regret joining the stream now. Rivets, rivets. Josh, you still there? I kind of hear you,
How
bud.
about now? How about now?
Yes, that's good.
Yeah, for some reason it went up again. I probably won't do s'more marines, but I will probably do a s'more marine.
Yeah, you should do that and then post that on Discord. That's a good idea.
Just one s'more marine. Because that would be like a brown and a white and then a light tan. Which I think would be a nice color scheme.
Yeah, I would.
This is you keep an open Word doc during a stream to record. It's just the problem is my computer is. Where's my camera? My computer's over there about 4 feet. I just don't have room on my painting desk to have my PC. So if I have to go type something, I have to go. Like I view comments by watching my phone, just propped up against my paint rack.
This is a very low budget effort, guys. I'm just true transparency here.
I do need to find a new desk somehow. I just don't even know where to. I don't even know where to start looking for a desk that is good for painting.
You be a real man and build it yourself, like I didn't do.
That's what to say. Here's the thing. I do know how to do that. I just don't want to.
Well,
and also, I happen to know that the materials for doing that will be more expensive than buying one.
That's extraordinarily true, which is sad.
Because like, they get all the good wood for their stuff, and I won't.
Right. It's the classic problem of I can buy a pot pie at Costco for $15. I cannot make a pot pie at home for less than $15.
No. And well, happy Pride Month to Lowe's for never selling me a straight piece of wood in their life.
Look, they're just in the holiday spirit. What can you say?
You remain to steal a desk from a train station like my dad. Small range should be the color
Very
scheme.
That's a very specific thing to steal.
Oh yeah, you could go for metallic browns on the Small Marines. Small Marines.
It's closer and closer to becoming an actual thing Josh is going to do.
Oh, that's what you do.
Or at
Then
least
you
start.
workshop it, and then and at the last minute, they're no longer Small Marines. You change to something else. And that's probably the better way to do it, is to think of a color scheme first and then a name.
Invent. That's fair. Actually, I think that's a good idea.
Don't get a temper glass. Oh gosh, no. Yeah, because they will explode eventually.
Don't get a desk that's gonna explode. Pro tip from Kevin.
Anyway, oh yeah, I was gonna say, shamefully, whatever, if I do come up with a custom chapter, there will probably be an Ultramarine successor chapter. Because thematically, I like Ultramarines.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, because like when
Nothing
I
wrong with
play
that at
games,
all.
I tend to be like, I'm about being the all rounder, right? Like I like do a little bit of
Right.
everything pretty well. So plus Ultramarine successor chapters can be whatever, because they run the
Yep.
gauntlet from
They're all they can be all kinds of messed up to being perfectly fine.
yeah, to being very normal to being And for 12th edition 40k, where there are only um, Ultramarines, as we all know, is coming.
Yep. Confirmed here on the channel. Can't prove us wrong. I like making future problems for us.
Okay, well, I've got the first layer of all the grays done.
Nice.
Except for the these, but I actually don't know what I'm gonna do with these. Might have an Origin of Records expunged. Yeah, it is always the. I mean, I think I've mentioned this on show before, but one of the funniest things about 40k cultural anything is the fact that the two expunged legions were written there so that you could fill your own legions in, and instead it has become cultural verboten to ever imply that your custom legions are, or your custom marines are, from either of those two legions.
I know. That's ridiculous. I actively encourage you to make Space Marine legions that come from those two legions.
It's what, the 2 and the 19th or the 2 and the 20th?
The 2nd and the 19th.
Okay. I know it was the second. I knew a new second. I did not know the other one. Are you gonna stick with the white in the background? Like this? Yes. Yeah, we are going for box art on this, actually, because I think it just looks really sweet.
It does. It looks really good. Like the box art is really nice.
Yeah, I think in real life it's Wraithbone. So less white and more that bone color.
Right.
Oh, is it second 11th? That sounds right, actually.
Now I gotta look it up.
Yeah, it's like I know the second is one of them.
It's the 2nd and the 11th. Yes,
Okay,
that's
so
correct.
she's right. And people are like, oh, but they were expunged by the Space Wolves, so you can't have any more. They're completely gone. It's like, yeah, because nobody ever messes up or anything.
Like because the Imperium is 100% reliable narrator.
Yeah, but it's kind of this. It's the sacred cow of Warhammer lore.
Yeah, it's always one of my like I tend to make my armies in a scheme that is, you know, lore specific to one like an established faction or whatever. But like at the same time, like I am totally on board with people doing their own thing and making their own like little pocket of the universe. That is a okay.
Crow is 19. Okay, yeah, is Raven Guard 19? That would make sense. Oh yeah, I don't mean you guys are saying that I can't do the 9th or the 11th or the 2nd or 11th. It's always just a baffling part of 40k culture to me. It's like, no touchy. These are sacred, immutable objects.
That were designed specifically for you to mess with.
But even then, but you know, part of it is that's how Warcom treats it too.
Fair. And yes, Budgie, that's a good way to go about it too. Is like the lore is wars. These are suggestions that it's this
Yeah,
rather
it's
than
like,
definitely.
who are these jerks? Well,
They might be this.
might not.
And there's all kinds of warp nonsense that can go on too to be make things even weirder. So
Like there's
I
lots and
mean,
lots and lots and lots of you know, implications that the what is it, the Red Scorpions from Dawn of War are a
mm, oh, you mean the Raven Guard,
Raven Guard,
not
yeah,
Raven
are a
Guard,
Thousand Suns
Blood
suggestion
Ravens.
chamber.
Yeah, Blood Ravens. Yep.
Blood Ravens, yeah, sorry. There's a lot of suggestions, but it's never quite confirmed.
Right. Yeah, so there are suggestions that my guys are loyalist EC or that called made an experiment 5,000 years ago. Yeah, I think that's totally cool. Like that I like that kind of I like seeing that kind of creativity and like carving out your own section of the universe. And yeah, also like yeah, the fact that the Ordo Chronos has inquisitors who have diametrically opposed jobs of either make not Ordo Chronos, or is it? I can't remember the name of the Ordo if it's not Ordo Chronos, where their job is they have two opposed jobs of definitely falsifying records to say a particular narrative about the Imperium, or definitely confirming records about that's what actually happened at this point in history.
Right. Horus Heresy, who got time jump forward. Yep, and warp. Yep. So they would just show up and be like, "Yo, hey, what's up?"
Redactus. Thank you, Spudgy.
Oh yeah, it would be, wouldn't
Yep.
it? It's just two people sitting on opposite sides of a desk, passing the same piece of paper back and forth.
Just one has a marker and the other has a whiteout.
Yep.
Is that dry enough? Might be. Let's put the last few finishing touches on this guy. Rim that base. Gotta paint the dials. Always paint the dials. Little plasma blue in these little windows. I'm just gonna assume they're plasma powered. Doesn't matter. And 40k plasma is just kind of a catch-all term for this thing has power.
Yeah. I probably should go do another second coat on all this gray. Kill me. Probably should go get my gloves, actually, and hold it like that because I'm starting to.
Smudge it.
Yeah, well, get to the point where I can running out of places to hold it without smudging it.
Oh, gotcha. Just gotta finish up that light. There we go. Top you off. Just get some black around that base.
The time when Plasma meant the Trooper was more likely to nuke himself. I mean, that's still true, mostly.
Had to confirm to make sure that I actually burn these guys in black. Otherwise, that'd be an embarrassing mistake.
Okay. Oh, wait, I should still do this thing, too. I mean, Black Templars have, what, 10,000 Marines or something like that because they don't care?
Yeah. Codex. That's a lot of words. Too bad I ain't reading them.
Pretty much.
If Dorn does come back, I would be interested to see what he thinks of the Black Templars.
I mean, probably the same thing. I imagine exactly the same thing Gulliman does.
Fair.
Except with more of a sense of like, oh no, this is my problem, isn't it?
All right. And there we go. A brand new prospect.
There you go. You do not want Dorn to come back? You don't want to hear him read about him looking at his fist, his Imperial fist? And the greatest piece of writing ever conceived?
Yeah, yeah, the Primarchs are definitely a thing that once they opened that can of worms, they were definitely unable to seal it again.
Yeah.
Like, and it really did start with Guilliman and Guilliman was in stasis because he was poisoned by Fulgrim. And so like, he's permanently in stasis so he wouldn't die. And like, so really and of course the Lion was lost, Dorn is dead-ish, Russ is out there somewhere, Corvax is a warp raven now apparently. But anyway, then now it is very self-serving because I have Death Guard and I love my Death Guard, and I was very happy to see Mortarion come because Mortarion. Now, lore-wise, Mortarion is just a pitiful, awful, little spiteful man that is only in the position that he is because he's a Primarch and he is a complete tool. But and also, like all the other Primarchs, psychopathic madmen. But Typhus is the real leader of the Death Guard, at least in my mind, because he really believes in Nurgle.
I mean, Smudgy, I would say that that's just kind of storytelling where that's kind of media storytelling right now, which is like, yeah, the superhero focus, and the Primarchs kind of do lean into that.
Mm-hmm.
The other problem is that it is harder to tell coherent stories about groups rather than people. So that kind of always
Mm-hmm.
ends up happening. But yeah, they'll keep bringing Primarchs back because it keeps selling. I would love for them to somehow bring back Ferrus Manus. Just he's got like a robotic head. I don't know how they would do that, but
Well, I mean,
he's Nixon from Futurama.
Fulgrim did try to make clones of Ferris. Try being the operative term, but
yes, because what he felt bad about killing him.
yes, I did read Warhawk, and that the duel between Khan and Mortarion, that was pretty cool. Definitely, I just love Mortarion. I love the. I'm not sure what that says about me, but the I love his contradiction and everything that he is, because he hates psychers like with a passion, but he is a gifted psyker in and of himself, and like he doesn't acknowledge the power of Nurgle necessarily as like something that's overtaken him, but he is obsessed with it and he sees it as a tool, and but it's not, and it's completely controlled him. So it's really I really like Mortarion as a very tragic character. Um, like even though I'm collecting Ultramarines, I have no plans on buying Guilliman because I find him extremely boring.
He's interesting now because he's kind of like the straight man of
That's
like
true.
of this guy who is looking at the Empire like, oh, this is oh no, oh no, but still
Yeah,
can't bring himself to do what is the objectively right thing and just like, because if he was actually a good person, he would kill it. He would just let it die. He would start sabotaging things on purpose.
right.
But he can't do that because at the end of the day, he is still who he is.
Hmm. Well, the other thing too that's there's a quote from Guilliman about that he sees the Imperium and what it is now, and this is a bridge version, but it would have been better if it had died in the fires of Horus's ambition.
Yeah, which it would have been.
Yeah.
Like, for everyone involved, it would have been a better universe if everyone had just died. Which is the point. Is like,
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
so I find him interesting in that way.
Also, from a gameplay perspective, I find the focus on big character pieces a bit immersion breaking for me. Yeah, I definitely understand that, Spudgy. That's a sticking point that I had with War Machine, was that there were no generic characters you could kind of self-insert into, and like I always like that part about war games. And even if it's is a little I don't know if narcissistic is the right word, but it's fun to put yourself in. It's like when you role play. It's like when you do a role playing game. You kind of do a self insert sometimes, and sometimes you don't. Um, and uh, I have at least found that, thankfully, for as many games as I play, just as many of them don't include a whole lot of named characters that are somehow everywhere at the same time, um, and then those that are just like these battles between nameless goons and whatnot. So,
I do.
and
Yeah.
in all fairness, like I like putting my Morty on the table. I love putting my Typhus on the table. So don't get me wrong. I like doing that too. But um, it is funny because it used to, like, I remember way back in the day when named characters, there was a certain points limit you had to play in order to put them on a table, or have your opponent's permission to put them on the table.
Right. That's why I tend to kit bash or otherwise change my versions of named characters, like my guard. My Creed is
Hmm.
not Creed. My Lord Solaris is not Lord Solaris. They're both change differently so it's somebody else who's acting that part. Because yeah, I want to have my own character. It's not a self-insert necessarily, but it is definitely like this is supposed to be someone different who is not that.
Right. And like very literally for the grand narrative, I have a self-insert
Yeah,
Inquisitor that
well, that's a very specific case where you should.
So, and I will be posting pictures of that at Discord as I complete both the costume and the miniature.
Fantastic.
I have to sculpt a beard onto the Inquisitor.
So I thought you were gonna say you
I
have
have
to
lots
sculpt a beard onto you, and it's like, wait, I thought you had one.
I have lots of practice with sculpting beards, so I'm not intimidated by this. But yeah, and I do like it when it is when the battle that you're fighting on the tabletop is just this hopeless, nameless battle that only the people involved, only the soldiers involved in it actually care about, because it has in all the events going on in the galaxy, it has so little to do with anything. But for these people, it's obviously really important because they live or die by what happens on this battlefield. I also think that's really cool and kind of plays into the hopelessness that is a part of 40K lore. So, I mean, and it is cool. There's room for both kinds.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
All right, I got 10 minutes.
He's Duke Moosey. He's going to sculpt his beard into a dice tower.
Oh my god. Ew. Staring at this blank canvas of a marine and thinking, what would I even want to do?
Flesh color. Flesh
No,
color.
not doing the flesh marines. Fine, we'll do the flesh marines and then pick the most phallic helmet we can.
You gotta do the flesh. I'm gonna do the flesh marine. I have enough marine bodies lying around. I could sacrifice a few to do the flesh marine.
I'll do a fresh marine, oh my god, flesh marine later when I've figured out what I would actually want to do for a real marine.
I found a tutorial from the Grimdark Compendium about how to do veins and stuff realistically.
Oh, good. Excellent. Fantastic. That's what we need.
And it's actually a really cool technique because you use PVC glue to go over it to kind of dull everything down to make it look kind of push the vein into the flesh.
Ugh. 50 Shades of Grey
And
Marine? No. Okay, I'm not doing any stripes. Anything that's like freehanding is no.
He's not playing Emperor's Children. They already come with the gear that is required for the 50 Shades.
Because I need to, like, again, I'm trying to be practical here. It's like, what am I trying to get? Like, I'm trying to get an army on the table, partially. So, I don't want to do, like, have to do stripes or anything like that.
Don't make it so that Josh has to, start a shotgun.
I am tempted, however, just before I start painting, like, put a flesh wash on this guy. Just to, because it would look like a flesh color. Like,
you should make it look really septic. Oh yes. Oh yeah. Make it look like it's we'll do the flesh marine and then give it like a skin disease.
If I wanted to play Nurgle, I'd play Nurgle.
This way you have Death Guard and Space Marines.
I'm already painting my Heresy as Death Guard. I'll save all the grossness for that. Yeah, I got that I forgot that free copy of the Liber Astartes and then I decided, nah, I'm gonna do Death Guard instead. Screw it. I'm gonna make myself buy another book. Reasons known only to me.
That's okay. I did get all my Saturnine stuff assembled.
Yeah, I still haven't even.
Oh, that's right.
Spudgy late hair CDG. It would be the bone armor, like the classic. Well, gonna be honest, I'm just gonna steal. The reason I'm painting them is because I want to use enamel washes on them, and I'm just gonna steal Sonic Sledgehammer's process for making Heresy Marines because they look really good the way he did them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't seen that one, he did like one where it's basically speed painting Heresy Marines in Death Guard Heresy colors, and it looks amazing. It looks so good. He used Army Painter Dip, which I will not be using. Well, I guess I could, but I probably won't.
I've never had much success with dip.
He didn't dip them. He didn't actually literally dip them.
Okay.
He used the dip, but he did not actually do the dip, I believe.
Oh, okay.
He applied it like a wash. And so,
Flesh
okay.
color,
So what?
flesh color, flesh color,
I am
flesh
not
color.
doing flesh color. Maybe I should get one of these other. Maybe I should paint like put a flesh contrast on this guy just to shut you up, and then paint this guy how I'm actually going to paint him.
You can't shut me up,
He's
Josh.
just going to be upsetting. You know what? Like he's just going to look like this. Like I have a flesh color guy. See, I have flesh poxwalker. Look at him. See, isn't he nice?
And
Isn't he upsetting enough?
instead of like the thunderous plot across the battlefield, it's just a squash, squish as he runs across the mire.
All right.
And
so I need a chocolate color, which is a deep, rich brown, like this. That's a good chocolate color. And then I need a graham cracker color. That's harder.
Like, are we talking cinnamon sugar graham cracker, or are we talking like?
Well, you'd actually probably want it to be base graham cracker because you want it to be distinct from the brown of the chocolate.
Are you talking honey made graham cracker? Are we talking like what brand are we talking?
Duke Moose just says meat. I mean, just you're talking your basic, your basic Nabisco graham cracker, as owned by and made by the original company that made them for John Graham when he was trying to make them as a health food so that people would wank less.
Don't look the history of the graham cracker.
Don't look up the history of graham crackers if you don't know it. It's disturbing. That and cornflakes.
Yeah, because they both had the same impetus behind them.
Yeah, impotence behind them. Well, make them eat nothing but graham crackers and put saltpeter in their water, and that will stop this epidemic of. I'm not going to go there. Are you saying Graham? Yes, I am. I am saying Graham crackers, but in the United States, we don't say Graham. It's just Graham. I know.
Yep, just Graham. Graham.
I know. American friends. Sorry, Graham. Graham. I don't even know how you pronounce it.
We can't even say it. We can't.
Graham?
Josh, don't even try.
Graham. Yes, I know. It is. That is American pronunciation. It is wrong.
We are in America, and we're going to say Graham. Wait, Graham.
What about beige gray? No, because graham cracker has that gold. Oh no, not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for like a golden brown, aren't
I? Xandri dust.
Not gold enough. Orange brown? No. I have something for this. Hold on. Green brown? No. Dark orange brown? No. Caramel brown?
Graham.
How does Craig rhyme with egg? Because it does. Okay, that one I do know. Craig, like Daniel Craig. Craig. He's a good Craig. He's a good Craig egg.
Thank you, Duke Moosey. Thank you. We say Graham because we learned the real old English speakers, the Amish and Quakers.
Look, all English pronunciation is correct because none of it is.
That's also very true.
Like, do what you want. Language is performative. Languages, I always get it mixed up. Is it descriptive or prescriptive? I think it's descriptive. Language is as language is used. Oh, yeah, that's a good color for this. I've got this caramel brown or caramel. Wait, what's yours? Caramel or caramel?
Oh, yeah. We say caramel or caramel. You tell us.
So that one's not U.S. versus anything else. That one's even like in the U.S. Weren't the Amish all German? German and Dutch. I mean, the thing is, like, Germany didn't exist as anything except a language back then, so. All right, so I don't actually care. That's the correct response. The correct response is to go, screw it. Okay, so.
I do think the head needs to be the chocolate color.
Really?
Like a chocolate chip. Yeah.
Because what I was going to do is the main armor is the caramel brown. Because that's the graham cracker, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
you would have the accents be the brown. So, for example, the pauldron edge would
Mm-hmm.
be the dark brown. Yeah,
Okay.
I know. Yeah, Pennsylvania Deutsch is just German. However, there were also many Dutch folk who were. Yes, Carmel is a mountain in Israel, but that does not mean that people don't just say caramel instead of caramel.
Caramel.
Yeah, and then if you go far enough, everyone in Europe's technically German. That's where you get the the Franks and the yeah, things really break apart when you start
Welcome to
caramel.
Miniatures Rundown History Hour.
I mean, it's whenever I'm on show, it's always history hour, and I'm always on the
Fair
show.
enough.
So
That's true. I haven't like speaking of our niche and this show, I have not found Instagram has not delivered to me this week, and I'm very disappointed in it.
our niche, you mean your niche, and by niche you mean psychic damage inflicted on all of us. Even old New York was once New Amsterdam. Why'd they change it? I can't say. People just liked it better that way. So, take me back to Constantinople. No, you can't go back to Constantinople. Been a long time gone. Constantinople. Now it's Turkish light.
All right.
Night.
It is 9 p.m. I need to go say goodnight to my daughter.
Okay.
And so I will see you guys later.
I'm gonna keep going for a little while longer while I figure out this Swarm Marine because I have nothing better to do. So
Yeah, that's
you're all
fine.
welcome to stay, but don't feel like you need to.
Yeah. So have a good time. All right. I'll see you later, Josh.
See you, everybody,
And see you guys later.
or see you, Kevin.
Goodbye.
Everyone else, we're just gonna keep plugging away at this guy for a little bit. Because here's what I'm envisioning with my Swarm Marine. Because what's the basis of the Swarm Marine is the graham cracker. So he's going to be mostly this graham cracker color, and then his accents will be the white and the chocolate. Aluminum versus aluminium. Yep, that one is literally like a spelling thing though, because I believe in the UK and other places, like it does have an actual I after that last N. So it is literally aluminium, not aluminum. Okay. Goodbye, dwarf man. All right. So then I've got this nice rich boot brown here. Which I should have shaken better. I don't know how long I'm going to keep going, but at this point I want to roll with this Swarm Marine idea. I don't want to lose it, right? Is it the same spelling? Oh, okay. I thought there was an extra I. Disregard. Looks like that might need to be a darker brown to more easily distinguish it. So where's a darker brown? I've got Brigandine Bootstrap. No, I need a dark, rich brown. Ooh, what about you? What about Battlefield Brown? Sulfur versus sulfur. I forgot about that one too. Here we go. Look at that. Nice chocolatey brown. I don't think there's any universe in which I paint a full chapter of Swarmarines. Now, on the internet, I tend to go by soda, so I was trying to do like soda marines, but like, turns out that soda is just a bubbly liquid, and if you end up painting them as citrus soda, then it's like, okay, you're painting them kind of citrusy, and if you paint them as cola, then you're just kind of painting like brown and black marines, which is not very interesting. So I abandoned that one. My avatar on Discord is a kobold that was very kindly, I mean, I did commission them, but very coolly commissioned to me by Fiverr of Sugar Candy Miniatures, so I could do those, just little dragon guys, and I do tend to like dragons in fantasy, because dragons are cool. So I could do like a dragon-themed marine. I don't know how I would do dragon-themed marines. I know they're out there already. Salamanders are kind of dragon-themed. Dr. Pepper marines. Yeah, you could do like the Dr. Pepper colors, but I don't want to do a brand. You know, Warhammer, we're already selling ourselves to Games Workshop. I didn't want to like go lean into like doing this is the brand Marines. That's the other reason I abandoned it, because all sodas are basically functionally you're only really thinking of the brands, right? Um, so I thought of like doing like some kind of cool dragon or kobold or something. Although that's very very rote. It's very very like, oh, you did dragon marines. Wow, aren't you special? But you know what? Screw it. Who cares? I don't know how I would do that. Could go for the prototypical green dragon. My kobold guy is blue, but that was more for visual interest. Rule number one is if you have to explain the reference or the joke, then you failed. And I feel like any soda that I did would have to be explained unless it was just a ripoff of Sunset Sarsaparilla or Nuka Cola, both of which I like. But someone's launching fireworks. I hate them. Now the question is, where am I putting the white on this guy? I was thinking on the shoulder pad or the chest and the shoulder pads. And get some white out. Not white out, white out. Duke Quincy says, oh no, although I do not know why. It's just a Cookie Run Kingdom Marine? I don't know anything about Cookie Run. Do you mean Cookie Clicker? I know about Cookie Clicker. But I don't know anything about Cookie Run. Sorry. I'm not a... It was a mobile game, right? Backpack maybe? Yeah, maybe some white on the backpack. Ooh, the whole backpack could be white. There we go. That's a good idea. I think the white is what will sell it as a s'more marine more than a cookie marine. Oh yeah, the emblem would definitely be a toasted marshmallow. Or it could be a flame. Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. I was actually thinking the emblem would just be a s'more, right? Like, to do a basic line is like the marshmallow and chocolate in the middle. That would be the emblem. And of course, the brown will also be all of like the leather and the belts. That will also be brown, which will help add some brown as well. I did not do a good job of cleaning up this guy's mold lines back in the day. Look at that shoulder there, or that elbow. The big problem is I can't do a small entire chapter of S'more Marines because then I would just want to then I would just want to eat s'mores every time I played them, which I already want to eat s'mores every time I do anything, so I don't need to like add that. Okay, let me put a layer of white on the shoulder pad here. God, I love this Corax white. I hate how much I love the Corax white. Such a good white paint. It's just not. It's just off-white enough to not be pure white. You've never had a s'more. I mean, if you don't know, I hope you know what they are. If you don't, it's marshmallow, toasted, and then you put it on some chocolate, and then you put it between two graham crackers, and it's quite tasty. They're not worth it. Like, it's not so tasty that like it's a thing you make around a campfire when you have them there, when you're camping or like you're doing something. I googled it. They're very messy. They're very much a pain in the butt to make. And they're tasty. But they're very difficult to eat cleanly. Hello. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what it is. My mic. I have to plug it. Probably my cue to call it quits, just because my technology is really messing up. Let me get these Space Marine shoulder pads lined up. Yeah. Oh, that was Kevin, not Mitchell leaving. But yes, which I have not gone over to fix because I'm not staying very long myself. Very quickly blocking out some colors on Mr. Marine here. This is a nice break from painting gray on the walls, though, because that was going to drive me crazy. And it will drive me crazy over the next month. Yeah, it's like, this is like, this color scheme does work. Like, the idea of a s'more marine, I don't think I'm going to do a whole chapter based on it, but I'll probably finish this guy. Actually, I might pick up a different guy to do it on, like this guy later. Oh, it's okay when you can't see them. But just because this guy doesn't have a helmet, because he's a board game piece, I might do this lad, who is not even glued into his base. Well, I just realized. So yeah, we'll get some... brown in there, and there. Need cool nicknames? I have one. And we all have internet handles, we just don't use them online, on here for some reason. There we go. Next time to paint, got a big Apocalypse game. Ooh, that's gonna be fun. Yeah, this actually really works, and I'm actually kind of annoyed about it, how well this works. Is Indiana East Coast? Yeah, I'm EST. I think if you go far enough west in Indiana, because Chicago, yeah, where we are is, yes. Which I won't spoil exactly where we are, but we're in Indiana. We're in the EST part. That's why I always post the stream times in EST. Because yeah, if you go close enough to Chicago, it turns into Central Time, but we're not there. So wow, I'm like actually kind of insulted that this guy's like this color scheme is functioning. Okay, so yeah, so now I need to actually put some, like because you put some browns down here. I guess that is the one problem here is that like the brown on the pauldron and the brown on the elbow are kind of conflicting. Eh, not really. It's fine. Might end up feeling 10k Marines. Good lord. I'm looking at it's got a little belt here. That's in brown. And the piping will still be in black because I firmly believe that's just how Marines should be. The vacuum suit underneath being black provides some good visual separation of bits. It's like back here in the back of the knees. Do 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 do. There we go. Yeah. I mean, this is gonna work as a scheme, like kind of toasty marshmallow man, and then a big white. Actually, the eagle I could kind of see going either way. Probably should actually do the eagle in brown first. Let me see how that looks. I have a feeling that the eagle in brown is actually going to look better than an eagle in white would. Well, it's kind of annoying on this guy that it's broken up by because he's got some chain on his. Oh, don't apologize. I love wacky ideas like this. Plus, my favorite type of Pop Tart is s'mores Pop Tart. I don't eat them much anymore because they're not good for you because they're just candy, or they're cookies or whatever. But I used to eat a lot of those, so I have a long history of loving s'mores. Okay, I'm being very sloppy with that. We have to think about that. The white versus the brown here, and I don't want the whole backpack to be white. Let me see. Let's fill in some of this with some gray. I'll separate our colors a little bit. Yeah. Where do you think the Canadians get it from? Come by it honestly. Always hear the same kind of story. Break their nose and they'll just say sorry. Sorry, I'm singing Weird Al again. This guy's also got a little eagle on his eagle. I don't think it looks better than the Flesh Fist Woods. Congratulations, Smudgy, on the thesis. Smudgy's thesis being that S'more Marines look cool. Alright, unfortunately I am losing focus as I get tired. So, making mistakes in my painting. But we are not abandoning this concept. In fact, we might come back to this later. Or I might futz with it off camera tomorrow. Because, yeah, I like this. But I also would like to, figure out a real Marine scheme. Ugh, I need to finish those walls first, though. Well, whatever. Okay. All right. Well, 20 minutes later, but we're going to call it for tonight because I am tired and I have to get up in the morning for brunch with my mother, whom I like, and I don't want to be late. So I will talk to you all later. Thank you so much for joining, everybody, once again. Thanks for chatting. If you're watching from the VODs, hello in the future, and thanks for watching. Hope you had a great time. I'll be back on Sunday to stream for the solo stream for more hobby stuff in the late night slot for those of you Europeans, or the midday slot for those from the States. Keep your eye out for more Necromunda stuff coming next week for the new edition and some other things. And I will talk to you all later. Have a great day. Goodbye.